안녕하세요. Also from my side, a warm welcome. Thank you. My name is Martin Müller and I'm very glad to be invited by MD Korea to present the new E-Class. Launching and presenting the new E-Class is always a highlight for us because the E-Class reflects perfectly the brand values and the strength of Mercedes-Benz. And obviously also the E-Class is an important pillar for our sales performance. The new E-Class is already the 10th generation of its kind. Firstly introduced in 1947, we have sold already 13 million cars worldwide. And the E-Class always stands for leading innovation and pushes the whole automotive industry forward. For example, we have introduced our safety passenger compartment for the first time in the E-Class. This is now a standard in each single car worldwide. In the 80s, we have introduced the 4MATIC in the E-Class, and in 2007, for example, our BlueTech technology. In 2014, we also introduced our current and most sophisticated automatic transmission, the 90-tronic. So the new E-Class continues that tradition, and therefore it deserves the name, the masterpiece of intelligence. And after an intense phase of development, we are now very excited to launch the new E-Class here in Korea, and it's a big honor for me here to present it to you. The E-Class was firstly introduced to Korea in 2003, and since this time we have sold 90,000 cars. And even more important figure and more impressive figure is that we have sold in 2015, last year, over 18,000 cars, which makes Korea the #3 market in the world. Only in the United States and in China we have sold more E-Classes. That means also in no other country in Europe we have sold that much cars than in Korea. And due to the increasing importance of Korea, we are incorporating the local Korean requirements more and more in the product development phase. Our luxury brand, Mercedes-Benz, is standing on two pillars. On the one hand, we have the emotional part, and on the other hand, we have the rational part, the intelligence. And the E-Class represents this positioning perfectly. On the one hand, the E-Class is smart as hell, but it's also tremendously emotional. Let me show you why. So firstly, let's take a look on the emotional part. And therefore, obviously, we need to talk about the design and the user experience. The E-Class continues perfectly the design philosophy what we have introduced with the S-Class and the E-Class. So the E-Class fits perfectly in our product portfolio. On the other hand, it's also important that we consider and incorporate typical design elements of the E-Class also for our new E-Class. Let's take a look firstly to the grille. We are continuing our successful strategy with two distinguished faces. Firstly, you will have our iconic star on the hood with an extremely representative grille. Secondly, we do have our central star in our very popular grille here, which is extremely sporty. When we take a look to the headlamps are known for, in the E-Class, for the 4-eye principle. Here with our new E-Class, it's newly interpreted, and we do have 4 daytime running lights, and this gives a clear differentiation to the other cars and shows that this is an E-Class. We also have a large air intake underneath, which is extremely broad and self-confident, and this distinguishes the E-Class also from the C-Class and the S-Class. When we take a look to the side, we have a new character light there, which starts at the headlamp, goes through the door handles up to the end to the tail lamps, and this character light emphasizes the well-balanced proportions of the car. The length of the car increased by 45 millimeters, but the wheelbase increased even more to 65 millimeters. which gives the customer more interior space and more driving comfort. Another highlight is definitely the interior. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an interior you have never seen before in this segment. It's exclusive, progressive, and with an outstanding value appeal. One central element is the so-called widescreen cockpit, where we have two separated screens behind one on the glass. And each screen has a size of 12.3 inches. For me personally, another highlight in the interior are the seats. They are inspired by fashion designers and the contour of the human body. So they are extremely beautiful and extremely comfortable at the same time. Overall, the whole interior looks like a futuristic show car, but it is the new interior of our new E-Class. Besides this outstanding design, the interior offers also a completely user experience. One central feature is the widescreen cockpit and, on the other hand, the new touch control buttons. We have two of them on the steering wheel, one on the left side, one on the right hand side. You can control these only by pressing and swiping. With the left hand side, you control your instrument cluster, all functions there, and with the right hand side, you are controlling everything on the media display. So you are able to control all functions on both screens with your hands on the steering wheel, which supports the safety during your ride. Now let us take a look to the intelligent side of the E-Class. Currently, there are three megatrends in the automotive industry. The first megatrend is autonomous driving. Secondly, connectivity, and the third trend is efficiency. And the E-Class has the right answer to all of these trends. When we take a look to autonomous driving, everybody is talking about this issue and tries to claim this field. But only the E-Class is doing the biggest step on the road to fully autonomous driving. Let's take a look to one feature. This is a feature what we call Drive Pilot. The Drive Pilot brings together a lot of safety features and assistance systems to relieve you on the highway. By the help of the steering pilot, the car keeps the lane autonomously, and if another car appears in front of you, the speed is adapted automatically in order to keep an appropriate distance. More than that, the E-Class also follows the car by active steering movements, without the hands on the steering wheel, and even through roadworks. The speed, the distance, and the steering is adapted accordingly. And when you are on the street without lanes, as you can see in the video, the E-Class can follow a preceding car, also without lanes, up to a speed of 130 kilometers an hour. And here's the overall portfolio of the technology features what we do have in the E-Class available. There are tons of new features, making the E-Class the most intelligent car and the safest car ever. They are making your ride more safe and more comfortable. Release your hands from the steering wheel up to 60 seconds and the car is supporting you also with steering movements. Another highlight are our headlamps. The design I've mentioned, and in Korea as a standard version we have our multi-beam LED. And multi-beam LED is based on 84 single LED lamps in the car, which allows an unknown accuracy and continuous high beam without dazzling any car on the road. We also have enhanced our pre-save system. Just to give you an example, for our impulse site, you have also the chance to experience that later at the exhibition. In the event of a side impact, pre-save pulse can have a positive effect by increasing the distance between the occupant and the door. And at the same time, it reduces the relative speed between the side structure and the occupant's torso. And this lateral impulse is initiated by a very rapid impulse by the side, by blowing up the chamber. You will have the chance to experience the braking and the steering support at the same as a test drive later on in the afternoon. Now let's take a look at connectivity. And this is definitely one of the major trends in the automotive industry, and the E-Class offers some very neat features to enlighten the customers also on this matter. To meet Korean requirements, we have established here in Korea a specific R&D center in 2014 to enhance the telematic systems upon your requirements, including cooperations with Korean suppliers. And the first result was that we have introduced Korean handwriting in the new C-Class already in 2014. And now, in the new E-Class, we are offering the first full 3D map for the overall landscape of Korea. We are supporting also all Korea media information, and we are already working also on natural voice control of the Korean language, which will be introduced in the future. Efficiency is the last trend, and let me show you what the answer is for the E-Class there. First of all, the drag coefficient is on a benchmark level. We have here achieved a level of 0.23, and this supports not only efficiency, but gives also a quiet ride, and this makes also the E-Class the quietest limousine in its segment. We have introduced here also a complete new diesel engine generation, which gives you 14% more performance on the one hand, the reduction of the weight with 17%, and also a reduction of CO2 emissions by 30% based on a European driving cycle. And by the way, all engines in Korea will have our latest technology, the 9G Tronic, which improves efficiency on the one hand, but also comfort and driving dynamics on the other side. So, talking about the new E-Class is one thing. The way more important and impressive is to experience the most intelligent car in the world by yourself. Please enjoy the opportunity in the afternoon and the wonderful surrounding. Kamsahamnida, thank you very much.